everybody, my name is Dusty and welcome to my channel. Today I'm currently recording at 4:30 in the morning. I don't know why, but apparently I'm slowly becoming nocturnal and it's irritating. So before I get heavily into this video, I would like to say thank you to everybody who commented and told me their thoughts on the situation regarding the aquarium co-op censorship. I know a couple people actually commented saying that they really don't agree with my stance. And thank you for your input. I really do appreciate everybody's opinion, regardless if it agrees with me or not. I just wanted to show you guys that there isn't going to be a content cop regulating what every person is saying on this channel, because quite honestly, you are entitled and allowed to say what you want. And I do know that I shouldn't have called out anybody in particular, and it might have looked like I was more attacking than just defending the channel, but I wanted to let you guys know that I was not attacking anyone. I didn't want it to seem like I was attacking anyone. I do appreciate everything Corey and Aquarium Co-op do for the community, but what they're trying to do won't be reflected in this channel or on this channel. So with that being said, let's move on to the actual video. Today, I'm going to be talking about 3 things that people always ask me. Generally, the people who ask me these things aren't members of the community, instead are outside and want to know how to get in, or are really confused at what I'm doing. I think the most common question I get is, why? Why are you involved in the hobby? And there are a lot of answers to that question. If you watched one of my videos I did not too long ago, I talked about why I got into the hobby, and to be completely honest, I was just kind of thrown into it. I really didn't have time to just sit around and do a bunch of research and be like, this is the type of fish I want to get because I really like it. It was more like, here's a fish, you're involved, good luck. And so I got involved, and I don't regret getting involved that way, but it's kind of a whirlwind. You get all this information all at once and you don't know what to do with it, and the next thing you know, you have multiple tank syndrome and you have a lot more tanks. But people that, especially my family, they look in and they don't see what I see and what I do. They look at me and think I'm nuts and that I'm putting way too much work on myself and that I'm just absolutely insane. But to me, it's just what I do. At this point, I've grown accustomed to just getting up, turning on the lights, feeding the fish. On Wednesdays, I know it's water change Wednesday, so I do the water changes. It's nothing that I think in my mind thinking like, oh, I have to do this. It's, oh, I'm going to. I think after about 2 or 3 years of being involved in the hobby, you eventually just grow a certain type of skin where when people criticize you for what you do, what you're spending your money on, how you're going about living your life, you just ignore it. The second thing that people usually ask me is, how did you convince your parents to let you get fish tanks when you live at home? And that answer is really rather simple, because I never actually asked. And while I don't condone just doing it, that's how I did it, and that might be terribly wrong. And I admit it's probably terribly wrong, but that's just what I did. There's not really a certain story to it. I just kind of did. And when I try to tell people that, they always say, my parents would kill me, this, that, the other. Well, my parents really didn't notice at first. It took about a month for my mom to notice I had a tank, and it took her probably another 2 months to notice before I had anything in it. So yeah, they really didn't notice. And I come from a family, not saying my parents don't pay attention to me or anything, but I come from a family where my parents generally let my sister and I, they let us make our own life decisions growing up, what courses we would take, where we went to school, if we did go to school, what jobs we would have. They kind of just left it to us to decide because they didn't want to interfere and dictate what we're doing with our lives. There were things, of course, we had to do, like when we drove somewhere or had a car, we had to text them when we got there, but generally they let us guide our own lives and dictate what we're going to do with them. So when I got the tank, my mom was just like, well, you got to clean it now. And I was like, okay, I was going to anyway. So my parents have always been really free-flowing. They really haven't criticized or stepped in the way of us doing things. And the third and final thing that people ask me is, why do I keep so many fish in college? And I think that is a valid question. I think I didn't really think it through when I did it, but at the same time, I don't regret doing it. I started keeping fish in college 2 years ago when I was a freshman, and I haven't looked back since. Know a lot of people who keep fish bowls and things, but to the extent that I have, like, no one does it. A lot of people say, it's a lot of work to carry those tanks back and forth from home and school, and while it is, I only have to do it once a year. During winter, I have tanks and bins at home that I take. I'm going to be doing a video on how I prepare my dorm for when I leave during winter, but generally, I only take my 10-gallon tanks and smaller, and I have bins and stuff at home or at my grandparents' house that I'm going to be using to store the bigger goldfish. But other than that, it's really not that hard. I have a job, so I can afford things, and it kind of gives me something to do because I'm not involved with a lot of clubs or organizations because I'm too busy working all the time. So I take that work and that money I make and put it back into the hobby that I really enjoyed, and it works really well. I'm really looking forward to the summer when I can work full time again. I have some things that I want to get that I'm really excited to get. Um, Something might be coming in the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited about it. It's not a fish, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, keeping fish for me really isn't any different than keeping a dog. I feed my fish and I take care of them and I take them out when I clean their tanks and I talk to them, which might be kind of crazy, but I do. So I don't really see keeping fish as anything other than just caring for animals that I love to care for. So um, when people say, why do you put yourself through it, I really don't force myself into it. I did it voluntarily, and I still do it voluntarily. So we all have our reasons for what we do. Those are some of the reasons that I have for what I do. This video, I don't know if it's something you guys like. Um, I just kind of thought about it. I said, that would make a really good video idea. So if it is, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. Comment down below. Make sure you subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.